I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
I know Ben doesn't think that about me. I'm sure he was talking about one of the other guys, not me.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to.
Donald, you cannot take
more energy tonight. I like that. Look.
And so I do give interviews in Spanish, and here's why. And if they get their news in Spanish, I want them to hear that directly from me, not from a translator at Univision.
The issue occurred in 2003. I suggested to President Bush that he not go to war. Okay, so I just want that on the record.
So 40 years ago, I smoked marijuana, and I admit it. I'm sure that other people might have done it and may not want to say it in front of 25 million people. My mom's not happy that I just did.
I think you're going to see a big impact on autism.
Dr. Carson, you just heard his medical take.
He's an okay doctor.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald.
Ever ready was the answer to the question, what would your Secret Service name be? And Jeb Bush said, ever ready. And Donald Trump said, humble. Donald Trump joins us live this morning. I believe you're back in New York City, right?
I just got back.
All right.
Wow, how did you get a flight?
Well, that was not too difficult, but we just landed, and I just walked through the door about 2 minutes ago. I grabbed the phone because I'm on your wonderful show that I love so much, and here we are.
Well, we're thankful that you're here, Mr. Trump. You know, last night, it seemed like it was all about you. I mean, 44% of CNN's questions focused right at you, and it seemed as though it was about pitting the candidates directly against you. What do you think of that?
Well, it was a little bit like Vince McMahon with the WWE for a while. I said, wow. And other of the candidates were complaining that they didn't get any room, they didn't get any time, which is true. A lot of them didn't really get to speak hardly, and it just get done. I see your chart up there, 44%. Wow, that's a lot. It felt like that. It actually felt like that. And I guess the other problem, the biggest problem I had was 3 hours is too long. 3 hours for a debate is too long. It's ridiculous, actually. And who wants to even watch? I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm standing there for 3 hours, but how about the people at home watching? Gone with the Wind is 3 hours and 20 minutes, right? And that's a super long movie, but it was Gone with the Wind. I think 3 hours is too long.
Yeah, in fairness to you, you tweeted it out even before the debate. You said, I cannot believe this is going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. It ended up being 3.
Brian, it was supposed to be 2 hours, and that's okay. That's a long debate, too, by the way. 2 hours is a long time, but 2 hours is maximum acceptable time.
Sure.
And it was supposed to be, then all of a sudden they sold all the commercials. They got a record number, the highest number they've ever gotten, and they needed more room, so they just made it longer. It had nothing to do with the politics. It was the fact that they sold out, and how do you get more? And I thought that was unfair. I found out about it 2 days ago, and I said, this is ridiculous.
You had 19% of the airtime compared to the low. That was top. The next was Bush with 15. Walker's the lowest with 8.5 minutes. The judge did a snap poll. You got 60% of the people said you won. Time Magazine did a snap poll. 67% said you won.
Right.
So this is strong for you. However, I was surprised for this. When you opened up, you went right down the line and said to Rand Paul, I don't even know what he's doing here. He's got 1% of the vote. Why did you think that was important?
Because he had told everybody he's coming after me. And frankly, he was very nice after that. But he had told everybody that he's coming after me. And he was really strong and strong about it. And I guess I probably hit first. He was sort of coming after me before I made that statement, by the way. That was, you saw that was being teed up. But I did hit him hard, and I felt like I had to. And frankly, after that, we got along very well.
Yeah. Somebody else who was going after you was Jeb Bush. You had a comment about his brother, and that led to his biggest applause line of the night. We're going to play it for folks who did not see it. Listen to this.
Your brother's administration gave us Barack Obama because it was such a disaster those last 3 months that Abraham Lincoln couldn't have been elected.
You know what? As it relates to my brother, there's one thing I know for sure. He kept us safe. I don't know if you remember, Donald.
He tried to come after you on casino gambling and some other stuff that didn't work so much, but that resonated.
No, it did. It was a good line. I thought it was a very good line. I thought my line before it was very good, too. But, because when the economy crashed, it would have been very hard for a Republican to have won. Hence the use of the great Abraham Lincoln. But it was an amazing evening. It was too long, and there were some problems there. I think it was just, they certainly used Trump a lot, and I understand it's actually a great compliment if you think about it.
It was
right?
10-on-1.
I know.
Do you
but it was
after-
10-on-1.
Mr. Trump,
they would go down, Elizabeth, they'd go down the line. All right, Trump said this, Trump said that. Anything
Sure.
I said about it was a little bit wild. I said, boy, I hope I'm wide awake tonight. This is going to be a tough evening.
They have not been able to get you to apologize yet for anything, and everyone's sort of aiming to do that, sir. Mr. Trump, the day after, when you look back at that moment with Jeb Bush saying, would you apologize to my wife, Columba, did you have any second thought about that at all? A little bit?
No, I actually said she's a very nice woman and a very wonderful woman, and I said that. I thought that would be helpful to say, but I didn't want to apologize because I really did nothing wrong. This had to do with the illegal immigration, and I did nothing wrong. So I believe strongly in apologizing. I don't mind apologizing, Elizabeth, but I like to, if you do something wrong, you apologize. It really was proven that I did nothing wrong here. So It was a little bit tough. It might have been easier. I apologize, but I would have told you that would have been the headline. If I did that, that would have been a big headline. Even in your show, that would have been the big headline.
Donald, real quick, when it was a break, there seemed to be so much tension between you and Jeb. When there was a break and we were in commercial, what was it like?
The funny thing was we were tough on each other, and yet there wasn't a lot of tension during the breaks. I guess we just say it's politics, but I had a couple of people, including Rand Paul. You would have thought there would be tremendous tension, and there was very little tension. I was a little bit surprised myself. We had long breaks because they had lots of commercials, as you know. They were 4 or 5 minute breaks. And I was getting along great with Jeb and everybody else. I actually got along pretty well with everybody back there. So, there may have seemed that, and there was tension during the actual questioning, but there wasn't a lot of tension during the break, and I was a little surprised at that. And tonight, I'm going up to New Hampshire. We have 4,000 people. It's going to be great. So, I'm having a lot of fun with this.
All right. Donald Trump, just off his performance last night in the Ronald Reagan Library, where his 757 is bigger than the former Air Force One. Mr. Trump, thank you very much for joining us live today.
Thank you. And thank you for showing those great poll numbers. That was great. I didn't even know that.
You're doing okay.
All
right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Got it.